Good morning. I am Sarah Burnett, a senior from Heritage Christian High School in Indianapolis, Indiana.
And I am Rhonda Baldwin from Cincinnati, Ohio. We are visiting Miami University today to learn about the many academic programs available.
Joining us today, we have Mr. Ron Becker and Rebecca Tosting. We will be asking them a few questions about Miami University. First, I want to start off with you, Mr. John. What would you say is a good major for a student who is looking into public speaking specifically and motivational speaking?
Yeah, it's a good question because I think students oftentimes think there is a single major that exists there for them to take for a certain career path. But actually, there's lots of different majors that could end up preparing you very well for that career path. Probably the most obvious one would be speech communication, where you learn public speaking. But other options would be mass comm, where you get lots of time in front of a camera, or theater and drama, and psychology, especially if you're interested in motivational speaking. Psychology would make sense.
Yeah, definitely. All right, thank you so much.
And I actually have a question for you, Miss Rebecca Tosteen. Okay, so you're a senior here at Miami.
I am, yes.
Okay, are you enjoying it?
Yeah, it's crazy. It's last year. It's sad.
Yeah, it was your last year, though. You made it through.
Yeah.
So, what initially, what factors did you consider when you chose Miami?
There were a few factors. I was a major homebody. I'd never, did the stay away home camp type of thing. So I didn't want to go too far. I'm from 2.5 hours away. I wanted a bigger school, but not, 60,000 OSU size. So, 15,000 was perfect. And I mean, the campus is gorgeous.
It is. It's a gorgeous campus.
That helped me.
Yeah. So what challenges did you have to overcome? I know it's very hard for a lot of students to transition from high school into college.
Yeah, kind of going back to what I was saying about the fact that I am a homebody, I was homesick. Honestly, it was probably the first semester I was really, really homesick. But, that was probably the biggest thing. I'm fairly outgoing, so, that wasn't as big of an issue.
What helped you overcome that challenge? What made you become more outgoing?
Well, no, it's not that the outgoing thing wasn't a big issue. It was more just being homesick. And, that's just you grow and mature. And, it's like looking back, as miserable as I was at one point, I'm grateful for that because, I'm very happy to be living on my own now. And, I wouldn't
learn from everything.
Back.
Yeah,
and, I'm thankful for it.
Awesome.
Okay. Mr. Don Becker, I want to come back to you. I actually have a question. What brought you here to Miami University as a professor?
Yeah, when professors are out on the job market, you do a national search, and there's maybe 6 or 7 jobs across the country that I would be qualified for. And at first, I actually wasn't going to apply for Miami. I've looked at my Oxford, Ohio. It's a small town. I don't want to live there.
Yeah.
But my best friend at the time, we were both in grad school at the University of Wisconsin in Madison, and she had asked if I had applied for the job. I go, no. And she goes, well, I just sent my application off. I go, okay, I suppose I should too. So I sent it off, and then we both got offered a job here. So it was and that's very rare to have somebody that you're that good of friends with start off in a tenure track job at the same school. So that was one of the biggest reasons why I chose Miami. And then once I got here, I decided to stay because it suits me well as a professor in terms of the kinds of classes I get to teach, the emphasis that they put on teaching and research, the sort of balance between them versus other kinds of schools like Ohio State or something. For a professor, there'd be so much more pressure to focus on research at the expense of teaching. So Miami has a good balance.
Yeah.
Okay. And as a follow-up on that, you're also Mr. Dr. Ron Becker. So how was that journey coming across at graduate school, and how did that go about?
Yeah, it took me a long time. I was not anxious to finish quickly. So I was an English undergraduate, and then for very perhaps odd reasons, ended up getting a master's degree in Scandinavian languages and literature. I taught Swedish for a couple of years. I learned that was not sort of interesting enough for me for a lifetime career, and eventually segued over into media studies, and spent probably 10 years in the media studies grad program. I was dissertating for 7 years. I wasn't working all the time, of course. You know, and there was a period where it was so long, and I was very happy in Madison, where I had a whole life, that I pondered not finishing. And eventually then, though, I realized, okay, no, I care about this enough that I want to finish.
Yeah.
And got over the hump of that challenge.
Okay, thank you.
Alrighty, well, I have another question for you. Just like list some of the things that you are involved in or were involved in, and like how did that help you like connect with certain people and network? Like how did that come along?
Not just related to my major, or just in general?
Just in general, or to your major?
Well, I think probably the most pertinent one to my major and my future career, I'm involved with Miami Television News, and pretty much we meet once a week, and we come up with stories, and we film our own packages, which, I mean, I don't know if you've ever seen a news show, but if you ever, like when they cut to a story, it's what we call a package. And then every couple weeks we produce the show and we put it on, and you get a position, whether it's anchor, camera, director. So I mean, that's just been that kind of, like for me in the mass communications department, I absolutely love it. It is a very broad major though, so I was kind of having trouble deciding what I wanted to do. But MTN kind of proved, journalism is probably
Fun stuff.
what I would do.
Awesome.
And people are awesome in it too.
Yeah.
You have a question?
I know, go ahead.
Okay, Miss Rebecca. So, what is it that caused you to want to go into communications? Because I know we know of this fear. Like a lot of people have this fear of speaking in front of people and talking to people.
I never had as much of. I mean, I think everyone's a little bit.
Yeah.
Gets a little bit nervous speaking in front of people, but I more chose it because I knew, I loved media. I knew I wanted to work in entertainment, and I knew I wanted to work, in television. I didn't really know like what aspect of television, but I had a feeling, like entertainment news type of a field would be something I was interested in. So, like I took his class, Com 143. I think it was my first semester, my freshman year, and that was it.
Okay. All right.
So
Fun stuff.
reflects good on him.
Thankful, yes. I had no idea what you were about to say.
It was horrible.
Okay, well, thank you all so much today. You guys have been
Thank you for
awesome
having us.
guests.
Yes.
Yes.
We have, once again, here Professor Dr. Don Becker and Miss Rebecca.
She's a sweetheart, and he's super
Aw,
nice.
thank you.
So, yeah, we want to thank for all of the, great conversation today. So, see you next time.
Right.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.